The mining ship Ironclaw moved slowly through the dark space between stars. Its thick metal hull was covered in scratches and dents from many battles. Inside the ship, Captain Timon sat in his command chair. His yellow eyes watched the screens. In front of him, his sharp claws tapped against the metal armrest. Tay-Min was Kethfer. His people looked like giant lizards that walked on two legs. They had thick green scales that could stop laser shots. Their teeth were like knives. Their claws could cut through steel doors. Most aliens in the galaxy feared the Kethfer. They were the strongest fighters anyone knew. "Captain," said First Officer Hodgen from his station. "We found something strange." Taman turned his large head toward Hodgen. "What did you find?" Hodgen touched buttons on his control panel. The main screen showed a picture of space with many small rocks floating around. "There are good metals in these space rocks. But look at this." The screen changed to show a small blue and green planet. "Another planet," Taman said. "So what?" "This planet is different. Captain, look at the readings." Taman studied the numbers on the screen. His eyes grew wide. "This cannot be right. Check your machines again." Hodgen pressed more buttons. The same numbers came back. "The machines are working fine, Captain. This planet has water covering most of it. The air has oxygen. The gravity is very strong. And look at this. There is a yellow star very close to it." Engineer Subin looked up from her workstation. She was smaller than the other Kethfer, but her claws were just as sharp. "Captain, this planet should be dead. Nothing can live in such a terrible place." The Kethfer called planets like this death worlds. They were places where everything tried to kill you. The Kethfer homeworld, Keth Prime, was a death world, too. It had endless storms and poisonous rain. Giant monsters hunted in the dark forests. Only the strongest could survive there. That was why the Kethvar became so tough and dangerous. But this planet was worse than Keth Prime. Much worse. The oxygen levels would kill most aliens in minutes. Subin continued. "The radiation from that star is deadly. And look at this gravity reading. It would crush a normal being." Young warrior Dong Hyun stood near the back of the bridge. He was new to space travel, but he had already killed 12 enemies in battle. "Maybe we should stay away from this death world. Captain, nothing good can come from such a place." Captain Taman laughed. It was a deep, scary sound. "You speak like a coward, young warrior. We are Kethfer. We fear nothing." He stood up from his chair. He was almost 3 meters tall. His muscles moved under his thick scales as he walked. "To the main screen. For 800 years. My people have ruled this part of space," Taman said. "No one fights us. No one challenges us. We take what we want. We go where we please. Do you know why?" The crew waited for him to continue. "Because we come from a death world too. We know how to fight. We know how to survive. These soft aliens, with their easy planets, cannot match us." Taman pointed at the screen. "If anything lives on that planet, it will be weak microbes hiding in rocks." Hodgen touched his controls again. "Captain, I am getting more readings from the planet." "What kind of readings there are?" "Structures on the surface, large ones, and they look like cities." The bridge became very quiet. All the Kethver stared at the screen. Cities meant intelligent life. Intelligent life on a death world was supposed to be impossible. "Show me these structures," Taman ordered. The screen zoomed in on the planet's surface. They could see metal and stone buildings reaching high into the sky. Roads connected different areas. Lights moved in patterns that looked planned and organized. "This is not possible," whispered Engineer Subin. "How can anything build cities on such a terrible world?" Warrior Dong Hyun stepped closer to the screen. "Maybe they live underground, Captain. Maybe they only come to the surface for short times." But as they watched, they could see movement on the surface. Small shapes moved between the buildings. Some rode in vehicles. Others walked in groups. Whatever lived on this planet was not hiding underground. Captain Hodgen said suddenly, "Something is happening." "What do you mean?" "The planet. Something is leaving its surface." The screen showed small objects rising from the planet. They moved slowly at first, then faster. They left trails of fire behind them. "Ships," said Subin. "Those are spaceships." Captain Taman watched the ships climb away from the planet. They were small and looked very simple. Their design was nothing like Kethper ships or any other alien ships. He knew. "How many ships?" "I count 12. "Captain, wait. Now there are 20. More are launching." The Kethver crew watched as more ships left the planet's surface. Each ship was different from the others, but they all had the same basic shape. They had pointed fronts and wide backs where fire came out. "Their technology is very basic," said Subin, after studying the ships. "They use chemical fuel to push themselves. Very old style. Very slow." Hodgen nodded. "Our ship is much faster and stronger than all of those ships together." But Captain Taman was thinking. He had been a warrior for many years. He had fought in dozens of battles. Something about this situation felt wrong. "If these beings can build cities on a death world like that," he said slowly, "they are not ordinary aliens." "But Captain," said Dong Hyun, "look how weak their ships are. We could destroy them all in minutes." "Yes," Taman agreed. "We could But I want to know what kind of beings can survive on such a terrible planet. I want to see them with my own eyes. The alien ships were getting closer. Soon they would be close enough for communication. Hajin, prepare the communication system, Taemin ordered. Let us talk to these Deathworld dwellers. Let us see what they have to say. Yes, Captain and Hajin. Yes, sir. Keep our weapons ready. If these aliens are dangerous, we will show them what real predators can do. The Kethver crew prepared. For first contact, they had met many alien species before. Most ran away when they saw the Kethver. Others tried to fight and were quickly destroyed. A few tried to make deals and were allowed to live if they paid tribute. But none of those aliens had come from a death world worse than Keth Prime. As the alien ships approached, Captain Taemin wondered what kind of beings could survive on such a terrible planet. Soon, he would find out. Soon, he would meet the first aliens in 800 years who might actually be dangerous. He smiled, showing his knife-like teeth. This might be interesting, after all. The alien ships moved closer to the Iron Claw. Captain Taemin watched them on the main screen. The ships looked like metal arrows with fire coming out of their backs. They moved in straight lines, but something about their movement seemed planned. How long until they reach us? Taemin asked. 20 minutes, Captain, answered Hajin. Their ships are slow, but they keep coming toward us. Engineer Subin looked at her readings. Captain, I am studying their ships more. They are very strange. Strange? How? They have thick metal covering their ships, much thicker than they need for space travel. And look at this. She pointed to her screen. They have many backup systems. If one part breaks, another part can do the same job. Warrior Donghyun laughed. Maybe they are just bad at building ships. Weak aliens always make mistakes. But Subin shook her head. No, this is not a mistake. This is on purpose. These ships are built to take damage and keep working. Captain Taemin thought about this. Why would someone build ships to take damage? Unless they expected to be attacked often, Captain Hajin said suddenly. The alien ships are sending us a message. Put it on the main speaker. A new voice filled the bridge. It spoke in sounds the Kethver had never heard before. The voice was not high like a Zephyrian or deep like a Morgoth. It was something in between. The translation computer worked to understand the alien language. After a few seconds, words appeared on the screen. The voice spoke again, and this time the computer could translate it. Unknown ships, you have entered our star system. We are the people of Earth. Please tell us why you are here. The Kethver crew looked at each other. Most aliens they met were afraid right away. These aliens sounded calm. They were asking questions instead of running away. They call their planet Earth, said Hajin, and they call themselves humans. Humans, Taemin repeated the word. Never heard of them. The voice came again. Unknown ships, please respond. We want to talk to you peacefully. Taemin stood up from his chair. Hajin, open communication. Let me talk to these humans. Yes, Captain. Taemin stepped in front of the communication screen. When he spoke, his voice would be translated into the human language. He made sure to show his teeth and claws. This always scared other aliens. I am Captain Taemin of the Kethver Empire. We are here to take what we want from this system. If you are smart, you will not try to stop us. The humans were quiet for a moment. Then, the voice came back. I am Commander Jiho of the Korean Space Defense Force. We cannot let you take things from our system without talking first. Please tell us exactly what you want. Taemin was surprised. The human did not sound afraid. Most aliens would be begging for mercy by now. You dare to tell me what I can and cannot do. Taemin roared. Do you know who we are? We are the strongest warriors in this part of space. We have destroyed 1,000 enemy ships. We do not know who you are, Commander Jiho replied. That is why we want to talk, but we will protect our home. Engineer Subin was studying her screens very carefully. Captain, something is wrong. What do you mean? The human ships. They are moving differently now. Look at the pattern. Taemin looked at the main screen. The human ships had changed their positions. Before, they were coming straight toward the Iron Claw. Now they were spread out in a wide circle around the Kethver ship. They are surrounding us, said Hajin. Warrior Donghyun laughed again. Let them surround us. Their weak ships cannot hurt our strong armor. But Captain Taemin was not laughing. He had seen this pattern before. It was a battle formation. Someone had trained these humans how to fight in space. Hajin, show me their weapons. Hajin worked at his controls. Their weapons are simple, Captain. Metal projectiles and basic energy weapons. Nothing that can hurt us. Then why do I feel worried? Taemin wondered out loud. The human voice came again. Captain Taemin, we do not want to fight you. But we will if you try to harm our world or our people. Taemin decided to test these humans. He wanted to see what they would do when they were truly afraid. All weapons, prepare to fire. He ordered. Target the largest human ship. Captain, said Subin, are we really going to attack them? No, we will fire a warning shot. Miss their ship by a small amount. This will show them our power. Then they will surrender, like all the others. The Iron Claw's main cannon charged up. It made a deep humming sound that all the crew could feel in their bones. This weapon could destroy a whole city with one shot. Fire, Taman commanded. A bright beam of energy shot out from the Iron Claw. It passed very close to the largest human ship and continued into empty space. The shot was close enough to show the humans how powerful the weapon was, but far enough away that it did no damage. Taman waited for the humans to panic. He waited for them to beg for mercy. He waited for them to offer tribute and surrender. Instead, something else happened. The human ships opened fire. All 20 human ships fired their weapons at the same time. Metal projectiles and energy beams flew toward the Iron Claw. The projectiles bounced off the ship's thick armor, and the energy beams did little damage. But that was not what surprised the Kethver. What surprised them was that the humans fired back at all. They shot at us, said Dong Hyan. They actually shot at us. Impossible, said Ha-Jin. No one shoots at a Kethver ship. They know we will destroy them, but the humans were not finished. As Captain Taman watched, the human ships moved in their circle around the Iron Claw. They did not move randomly. They moved together, like they had practiced this many times. Captain, said Subin, I am reading something strange. What now? The humans are talking to each other on many different communication channels. They are sharing information very fast. And they are, they are learning. Learning what? Learning about our ship. Every time they fire at us, they study how our armor reacts. They are figuring out our weak spots. Captain Taman felt something he had not felt in many years. He felt uncertain. Sir, said Ha-Jin, more human ships are coming from their planet. I count 50 new ships launching. And Captain, added Subin, the ships already here are moving into a new formation. I think they are preparing for a real battle. Taman stared at the screen. The humans were not running away. They were not surrendering. They were calling for reinforcements and preparing to fight a ship that could destroy their entire fleet. These humans are either very brave or very stupid, said Dong Hyan. Maybe both, said Taman quietly. The communication system crackled again. Commander Jiho's voice came through. Captain Taman, you fired on our ships. We consider this an act of war. Leave our system now, or we will defend ourselves. For the first time in 800 years, someone had given the Kethver an ultimatum. Captain Taman did not know whether to be angry or impressed. Captain, said Ha-Jin, what are your orders? Taman looked at his crew, then he looked at the human ships on the screen. They were still in their battle formation, waiting for his answer. Get ready for combat, he said finally. I want to see what these Deathworld humans can really do. Captain Taman gave the order to attack. The Iron Claw fired its powerful weapons at the human ships. Bright energy beams cut through space toward the small human vessels. But the humans were ready. The human ships moved fast. They turned and twisted in ways that surprised the Kethver crew. Some human ships took hits from the energy beams, but they did not explode. Their thick armor held together. Smoke came from damaged areas, but the ships kept fighting. Their ships are stronger than they look, said Engineer Subin. It does not matter, replied Captain Taman. We will destroy them all. But as the battle continued, something strange happened. The humans started hitting the Iron Claw more often. Their shots became more accurate. They found weak spots in the Kethver ship's armor. How are they getting better so fast? Asked warrior Dong-Hyun. Ha-Jin studied his screens. They are sharing information between all their ships. When one human learns something, they all learn it. That is impossible. No species can coordinate that well in battle. But the humans were proving them wrong. Admiral Sujin commanded the human fleet from her ship New Seoul. She watched the battle data on her screens and gave orders to all human ships at once. Focus fire on Section 7. She told her pilots. Target their weapon systems. 20 human ships turned their guns toward the same spot on the Iron Claw. They fired together. The combined attack damaged the Kethver ship's main cannon. Captain Taman felt his ship shake from the impact. How did they know where to hit us? Captain, said Subin, I think they are studying us while we fight. Every time we shoot, they learn more about our ship. The battle was not going as Taman expected. The human ships were weak individually, but together they fought like one giant creature with many parts. Prepare boarding pods, Taman ordered. We will board their ships and kill them in person. Then they will see what real warriors can do. Yes, Captain. The Kethver launched 5 boarding pods toward the human ships. Each pod carried 4 Kethver warriors. These warriors were the best fighters in the galaxy. Each one could kill dozens. Of normal aliens, the boarding pods hit 3 human ships. The Kethver warriors cut through the metal hulls with their claws and entered the human vessels. Inside the human ship, Kethver champion Bioram led his team through the corridors. He was 3 meters tall and covered in thick scales. His claws could cut through steel. His teeth were like knives. Find the humans, Bioram told his warriors. Kill them quickly. They found the humans in the ship's control room. Bioram expected to see small, weak creatures that would run away in fear. Instead, he saw something that shocked him. The humans were not running. They had weapons ready. They stood in fighting positions like trained soldiers. Captain Minho of the human ship stepped forward. He was much smaller than Bioram, but he did not look afraid. You want to fight? Let's fight. Bioram laughed. You are brave for such a small creature. But bravery will not save you. The Kethver champion attacked. He moved fast, using his claws to strike at the human captain. But Minho was ready. He moved away from the attack and hit back with his own weapon. The fight was not what Bioram expected. The human was fast and smart. When Bioram used his strength, Minho used his speed. When Bioram tried to grab him, Minho slipped away. Other Kethver warriors fought other humans throughout the ship. They were winning, but it was harder than they thought it would be. The humans fought back with everything they had. They used their weapons, their tools, even parts of their own ship as weapons. Bioram finally managed to bite Captain Minho on the arm. Kethver venom flowed into the human's blood. This venom could kill any alien in seconds. Bioram smiled. Now, you die, little human. But Minho did not fall down. He did not stop fighting. Blood came from his mouth, but he kept moving. He kept attacking. What is wrong with you? Bioram asked. Why are you not dead? Minho wiped blood from his mouth and smiled. Because I'm human. We don't die easy. The human captain attacked again, even with poison in his blood. Bioram could not understand it. Nothing could survive Kethver venom. Nothing. But this human was not just surviving. He was getting angry. And angry humans, Bioram was learning, were very dangerous. In the control room of the Iron Claw, Captain Timon watched the boarding action on his screens. His warriors were winning, but they were not winning easily. Captain, said Hajin, our warriors report something strange. The humans are not dying when they should die. What do you mean? Champion Bioram used his venom on a human. The human should be dead, but he is still fighting. Timon stared at the screen. That is impossible. Our venom kills everything. Maybe, not everything. Captain Engineer Suben was studying readings from the human ships. Captain, I am seeing something very strange in the human biology reports. Show me. The humans we are fighting. Their bodies are changing while we fight. Their blood is learning to fight our venom. Their hearts are beating faster to give them more strength. They are adapting in real time. Species cannot adapt that fast, said Dong-Hyun. These humans can, said Subin. Look at these readings. Their immune systems are unlike anything in our databases. They can fight diseases and poisons that would kill other species instantly. Captain Timon watched his warriors continue their battles inside the human ships. They were still winning, but barely. And more human ships were arriving from Earth. Captain, said Hajin, we are receiving a message from the humans. Put it on screen. Admiral Sujin appeared on the main screen. She looked calm, even though the battle was raging around her. Captain Timon, she said, your warriors are brave. But this fight is not necessary. We do not want to be your enemies. You attacked our ship, Timon replied. You fired first. We defended ourselves. There is a difference. Timon thought about this. It was true. He had fired the warning shot first. Your warriors are dying on our ships, Admiral Sujin continued. And our people are dying too. Why continue this fight? Because, we are Kethver, we do not surrender. We are not asking you to surrender. We are asking you to stop fighting and talk. On the screen, Timon could see more human ships arriving from Earth. There were now over 100 human vessels surrounding his ship. Captain, whispered Hajin, maybe we should listen to them. For the first time in his life, Captain Timon was not sure he could win a fight. Ambassador Hyanwu arrived at the Iron Claw in a small shuttle. Captain Timon and his crew watched as the human ship docked with theirs. They expected the human to be nervous or afraid. Instead, Ambassador Hyanwu seemed calm and curious. The human ambassador was smaller than any Kethver, but he walked onto their ship like he belonged there. He looked around at the metal walls and sharp decorations without fear. Thank you for letting me visit your ship, Hyanwu said. I am honored to meet the Kethver people. Captain Timon studied the human carefully. You are not afraid of us. Should I be afraid? You invited me here to talk. That seems like a peaceful action to me. We could kill you easily. Yes, you could, but I do not think you will. May I ask you a question, Captain Timon? What question? Why did you stop fighting when you could have continued? Your ship is stronger than ours. Timon thought about this, because the battle was not going as expected. Your people fought differently than other aliens. How do other aliens fight? They surrender quickly, or they run away. They do not adapt during battle like your people did. Ambassador Hyanwu nodded. We have had much practice fighting on our world. Everything on Earth tries to kill everything else. We learned to be good at it. Engineer Subin stepped forward. Ambassador, may I ask about your planet? We have studied it, but we do not understand something. What do you not understand? How do you survive with such dangerous creatures? Why do you not kill them all? Hyanwu smiled. Because many of those creatures are our friends. Friends? Subin looked confused. How can predators be friends? Let me show you something. Hyanwu took out a small device and showed them a picture. It showed a human child sitting next to a large, furry creature with big teeth. This is my daughter with our family dog, Hyan-Woo explained. The dog's ancestors were wolves. They were dangerous predators that hunted humans long ago. But now, they live with us. They protect our children. They help us hunt. They warn us of danger. We feed them and take care of them when they are sick. Champion Bjorn stared at the picture. You made enemies into allies. We made predators into family. Hajin looked at more pictures on the human's device. These creatures all look dangerous. Some are. This is a horse. Horses are strong enough to kill humans with their hooves, but we ride them and work with them. This is a cat. Cats are hunters, but they live in our homes and catch mice for us. You live with predators in your homes? Asked Dong Hien. Yes, we call it the pack bond. Humans have the ability to form emotional connections with other species. Even species that should be our enemies. Captain Taman found this idea fascinating and disturbing. On Keth Prime, we kill anything that threatens us. On Earth, we learn that sometimes it is better to make friends than to make enemies. A friend can help you. A dead enemy cannot. Dr. Janae, a human scientist, joined them through video communication from one of the human ships. Captain Taman, she said, we have been studying your biology from the battle data. Your people are remarkable fighters. But we noticed something interesting. What did you notice? You fight alone. Each Kethfer warrior fights as an individual. Very skilled, very dangerous, but alone. That is how warriors should fight. We depend on our own strength. Humans learn to fight together. We are weaker, individually, than many Earth predators, so we learn to cooperate. When humans work together, we become much stronger than the sum of our parts. Ambassador Hyan-Woo nodded. This is why we could challenge your ship with our smaller vessels. One human ship cannot hurt you, but 100 human ships working together can. You use teamwork as a weapon, said Taman. We use teamwork for everything, building cities, exploring space, solving problems. We learned that cooperation is more powerful than individual strength. Engineer Subin had been quiet, but now she spoke. Ambassador, may I ask a personal question? Of course. During the battle, one of our warriors was injured, not by your weapons, but by accident. Why did your medic help him? Hyan-Woo looked surprised. Because he was hurt. Our medics help anyone who needs help, even enemies, especially enemies. How can we make friends if we let potential friends die? This concept was completely foreign to the Kethfer. They had never considered helping an enemy. On Earth, Hyan continued, we have a saying, today's enemy can be tomorrow's ally. We have learned that it is better to heal than to hurt when possible. Young warrior Teho, who had been injured during the battle, was brought to the meeting room. A human medic named Nurse Unesio had treated his wounds. How do you feel, warrior? Asked Captain Taman. Much better, Captain. The human healer used medicine I have never seen before. She was very gentle and kind. Nurse Unesio spoke through the communication system. Warrior Teho was very polite and patient while I worked on his injuries. He thanked me several times. Ambassador Hyan-Woo smiled. See, enemies becoming friends. Captain Taman looked at his injured warrior. Teho was young and had never met aliens who showed kindness instead of fear. Why did you help him? Taman asked. Because healing is what we do, answered Nurse Unesio. Whether someone is human or alien does not matter. If they are hurt, we help them. But we attacked you. Yes, and we defended ourselves. But the fighting is over now. Now we heal. Ambassador Hyan-Woo sat down across from Captain Taman. Captain, may I tell you what I think? Speak. I think your people and my people are similar in many ways. We both come from dangerous worlds. We both had to become strong to survive. We both know how to fight. That is true. But we learned different lessons from our dangerous worlds. You learned to be the strongest predators. We learned to turn predators into allies, and you think your way is better. I think both ways have value. But together, we could be stronger than either of us alone. Captain Taman thought about this. The humans had shown respect for Kethfer's strength, but they had also shown something the Kethfer had never experienced, kindness from potential enemies. What are you suggesting, Ambassador? Friendship between our peoples, an alliance between the galaxy's most dangerous species. Why would you want to be friends with us? Because you are strong, honorable warriors. And because we think there might be things in this galaxy that are dangerous even to us. Together, we could face any threat. For the first time in 800 years, the Kethfer had an offer of alliance instead of a demand for surrender. Captain Taman realized that these humans might be the most dangerous species in the galaxy, not because they were the best fighters, but because they could turn anyone into an ally. 3 days later, Captain Taman sat in the main meeting room of the human ship New Sol. Around the table sat both Kethfer warriors and human officers. This was the first time in galactic history that Kethfer and any other species had sat together as equals. Admiral Sujin placed a document on the table. This is the friendship treaty between our peoples. If we both agree to it, We will be allies. Fleet Admiral Chungman of the Human Defense Force sat across from Supreme War Leader Kang Dae, who had come from the Kethver homeworld to see these strange humans for himself. This treaty is different from anything we have seen before, said Kang Dae. Usually, when we meet other species, they offer us tribute to leave them alone. We are not offering tribute, said Admiral Changmin. We are offering partnership. What kind of partnership? We share technology. We share knowledge. We help each other explore space. We protect each other from threats. Engineer Subin was working with human engineer Sung-ho on new ship designs. They were combining Kethver's strength with human adaptability. Look at this. Sung-ho showed Subin his computer screen. If we combine your armor technology with our adaptive systems, we can make ships that are both very strong and very smart. And if we add your teamwork communication systems to our weapons, added Subin, we can coordinate attacks better than either of us could alone. The two engineers were excited about working together. They had already designed 3 new types of spacecraft that were better than anything either species had built before, but not everyone was happy about the alliance. Some Kethver warriors thought their people should not be friends with aliens. We are the strongest, said one warrior named Daeho. Why do we need allies? Captain Taemin answered him. Because strong alone is not the same as strong together. These humans showed us something new. What did they show us? They showed us that there are different kinds of strength. We are strong in body. They are strong in spirit. Together, we are stronger than either of us could be alone. Some humans were also worried about the alliance. Dr. Wujin, a human philosopher, had concerns. Captain Taemin, he said, your people have been conquerors for many years. How do we know you will not try to conquer us later? Because you have shown us something better than conquest, Taemin replied. You have shown us friendship. On our world, we had to fight everything to survive. We thought that was the only way. But you have taught us that cooperation is more powerful than conquest. And what have we learned from you? You have learned that sometimes you need to be fierce to protect what you love. We have seen how humans fight when their families are threatened. You are more dangerous than you know. Fleet Admiral Chungmin nodded. The galaxy is large and full of unknowns. Intelligence reports suggest there are threats in the galactic core that neither of our peoples have faced before. What kind of threats? Asked Supreme War Leader Kang Dae. We do not know yet, but whatever they are, we will be stronger facing them together than apart. Engineer Subin and Engineer Sung-ho have showed their completed ship designs to both leaders. We call this the Unity-class vessel, said Sung-ho. It has Kethver armor and weapons, but human coordination systems and adaptability. The crew would be mixed, added Subin. Kethver and human working together on the same ship. Will that work? Asked Admiral Sujin. Young warrior Taeho, who had been healed by the human medic, raised his hand. Admiral, I would like to serve on such a ship. Why? Because the humans showed me kindness when they could have shown cruelty. I want to learn more about their ways, and I want to teach them about ours. Nurse Unesio, who had treated Taeho's injuries, nodded. I would also like to serve on a mixed cruise ship. We could learn much from each other. Captain Taemin looked around the room at both species. 6 months ago, we thought we were the most dangerous beings in the galaxy. We thought we were alone, at the top, and now, asked Ambassador Hyenwu. Now we know that we were not alone. We found others who understand what it means to survive on a dangerous world. We found others who know how to fight when they must. But more importantly, added Admiral Changmin, we found others who choose to protect instead of destroy. The treaty was signed by both species. As the leaders put their names on the document, news of the alliance spread throughout the galaxy. Other alien species watched in shock and fear. The two most dangerous species in known space were now working together. Some aliens thought this meant the end of peace in the galaxy, but they were wrong. The first joint Kethver human exploration fleet launched 6 months later. The ships were beautiful combinations of both species, technology. The crews worked together better than anyone had expected. Captain Taemin commanded the lead ship, Friendship's Edge. His crew was half Kethver and half human. Engineer Nara worked next to technician Manesia warrior. Bioram served alongside human marine commander Young as they traveled toward the galactic core to investigate the unknown threats. Captain Taemin made a personal log entry, personal record, day 847 since first contact. Today, I watched human commander Soyoung convince a crew of Kethver warriors to adopt an injured Earth creature called a cat. The small animal was hurt when we rescued it from a damaged space station. Instead of leaving it behind, my warriors insisted we bring it with us. They have named it Courage. I am beginning to understand that we were never truly apex predators. We were simply waiting for someone to teach us what that really means. Being the strongest does not mean being alone. It means being strong enough to protect others. Today, we received a distress signal from the galactic core. A whole solar system has gone silent. Whatever threats wait for us there, we will face them together, the galaxy's Deathworlders, united as allies and friends. The ship jumped to hyperspace, carrying its mixed crew toward whatever dangers awaited in the unknown regions of space. For the first time in galactic history, The most dangerous species were not fighting each other, they were fighting together. And the galaxy would never be the same. Captain Taman called his warriors back to the Iron Claw. The fighting stopped, but both sides kept their weapons ready. The Kethver warriors who returned from the human ships looked shaken. Champion Bioram entered the bridge. His scales were scratched and one of his claws was broken. Captain, the humans are not normal aliens. Explain. They feel pain, but they ignore it. They get hurt, but they keep fighting. I poisoned one with my venom, and he lived. He should be dead, but his body somehow fought off the poison. Engineer Subin nodded. I have been studying their planet while we fought. Captain, I think I understand why these humans are so different. Tell me. Subin put new information on the main screen. It showed pictures of Earth's surface. The images were shocking. Look at this planet, Captain. It has massive storms that can destroy cities. The ground shakes and splits open. Mountains explode and shoot fire into the sky. The oceans have waves as tall as buildings. The crew stared at the images. Even Keth Prime was not as dangerous as this place. But that is not the worst part, Subin continued. Look at the creatures that live there. New images appeared on the screen. They showed Earth's animals. There were giant creatures with huge teeth. Flying animals that could carry away large prey. Ocean creatures longer than starships. Small creatures with deadly poison. This creature, Subin pointed to an image, can kill with just its bite. This one can crush bones with its jaws. This one can inject venom that stops the heart. Warrior Donghaean looked sick. How can anything survive on such a world? The humans do more than survive, said Subin. They ruled that planet. They are the top predators there. Hajin studied the data. Wait, look at this. The humans do not just fight these creatures. Some of them live with the humans. What do you mean? The humans have made some of these dangerous creatures into ... friends. They call them pets. Look here, this creature with big teeth and strong jaws lives in human homes. The humans feed it and take care of it. The Kethver crew could not believe what they were seeing. The humans had turned predators into companions. And here, Hajin continued. The humans ride on the backs of these large creatures. They work together. Captain Taman studied the images of Earth. This explains much. If the humans can survive on such a world, if they can make friends with such creatures, then they are not ordinary aliens. Captain, said Subin, there is more. I have been studying their biology. The humans' bodies are designed for that terrible world. How their blood can carry more oxygen than ours can. They can run for long distances without getting tired. Their bones are very strong. Their immune systems can fight diseases that would kill us. And their brains, added Hajin, they can think and react very fast when they are in danger. In a battle, they become faster and stronger. Captain Taman walked to the main screen. He looked at the images of Earth and its creatures. So the humans are not just survivors. They are the ultimate survivors. Yes, Captain, and there is something else. What? The atmosphere of their planet is poisonous to most species. The air they breathe would kill us in minutes. But to them, it is normal. Donghyun shook his head. How is such a species possible? Evolution, Donghyun said. Captain Taman, on Keth Prime, we became strong to survive. But Earth is much more dangerous than Keth Prime. The humans had to become something more than just strong. The communication system activated again. Admiral Sujin's voice came through. Captain Taman, we would like to talk more. May we send a representative to your ship? Taman thought about this. You want to send someone here? To our ship? Yes, we think face-to-face talk is better than talking through screens. Do you not fear us? There was a pause. Then Admiral Sujin answered, we respect your strength, but we do not fear you. Should we? Hajin whispered to the captain. Sir, they are asking if they should fear us. No alien has ever asked us that question. Captain Taman realized that these humans were different in every way. They did not run from danger. They asked questions instead of begging for mercy. They turned enemies into friends. Very well, Taman said. Send your representative. But know that if this is a trick, we will destroy all your ships. Understood. Ambassador Hyenwu will come to your ship in 1 hour. After the communication ended, the bridge was quiet for a long time. Finally, Subin spoke. Captain, what if we cannot defeat these humans? Then we will learn something new. Taman replied, for 800 years, we have been the strongest. Maybe it is time we met our equals, or our superiors, whispered Dong-Yun. Captain Taman did not disagree. As they waited for the human ambassador, each Kethver thought about what they had learned. These humans came from a world worse than any nightmare. They had survived things that would destroy most species. And somehow, they had remained civilized enough to offer peace instead of demanding conquest. For the first time in their history, the Kethver were about to meet beings who might be more dangerous than they were.